I've got a request from you guys to explain how I did promotional video for my plugin called Sigma Effects. This is a plugin that allows you to quickly apply effects to your footage in Premiere Pro. So in this video, I'm gonna break down this animation. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube and Discord channels. Let's go! So this promo video has 5 main blocks that I'm gonna be breaking down each separately. Let's start from the first one. So what we have here is the first layer is raise, and this is achieved by a couple of effects. The first one is Vegas, and I animated a length and rotation properties. The length does something like this, and rotation just rotate this effect. And now we have something like this. Then I add simple choker and fill it with black color, so you can see it here. And we're doing this so the light sweep can highlight our logo, so it looks like so. And then I add just CC Radio Fast Blur to make it look like it's race. And it also been animated. The center of this, the center property of this effect has been animated. You can see this circle is moving around the scene. So it creates this effect of moving race. Let's move to the contour. So it's pretty much the same as race, but without radio fast blur. And together it looks like so. Then I added adjustment layer with VC color vibrance to color it like this. And then I add glow layer that also has some effects, such as linear vibe animated. So underneath is just a white logo, and then linear vibe is introducing this logo by animating transition completion property. Then I colored it with color vibrance again, like so. Then I add fill to fill with the color I want. And as a final touch, deep glow. Then at the end, I created a null to control the position of this layer. So I can move it like this. And we're moving to the second scene. In the second scene, I cut some parts of these layers and move them to the top so I can continue the movement of this layer on top of the image of the second scene, like this. And I just bring down the opacity to 0. So it gradually disappearing over here. Okay, let's move to the second scene. So let me first show you how it looks. The second scene contains camera, effect plane, and background plane. So let's break down camera movement first. So it goes from the beginning, goes to here, just kind of slight movement to the side and rotate it along its y-axis. It stays there a bit, like so, and then goes back. And after that, the camera goes closer to the background. Okay, we're done with camera. At the background, we have just a simple plane with a gradient ramp effect that has a little bit of animation from the dark purple to whiter purple here. So it kind of like switching lights on, so it becomes a bit brighter. And this is it for the background. Then we move to the next layer, which is our Premiere Pro effect control window that has been done in Figma, and it contains 2 layers here. So the main one is empty, like so. So it doesn't have lumetri color effect here. But then I introduce this, so it's fully the same graphic, but with lumetri color on top. Then I mask it out like so and put it on top. Let's talk about the animation. It has 3 effects. So first of all, it's animated by the circle mask. that been expanded during time, like so. And then some effects on top. Let's start from the race. It creates such an effect. It's center animated and race brightness also animated. Then I add deep glow to make it highlight. And it's animated from exposure 2 to 0 here. So it's like gradually turning off. And then distort chroma effect, that is just amounts being animated. You can see like it's overlaying a little bit on top. During the animation, it's almost invisible. Okay, maybe it's visible, but I'm pretty sure you haven't noticed it. Let's move to the effect plane. What we have here. So this pre-comp contains 4 layers. Let's start from the first one. It's just a simple empty plane without any text or anything, and it's not animated at all. Then I added Lumetri color plane. So it's simply the same plane, but with continuation down here. I'm gonna show you in a second. And it's been animated by mask path. So it comes from here, down here, like so. Then I added type and effect name text on top, but it disappears here to introduce the text that is being typed actually, like so. And type being animated by range selector and its start property, like it's typing. And it comes down here. So it's very simple here. Boom, like so. On the pre-comp above, I have 2 CC light sweeps. The first one is being animated to create this metallic effect of this plane. Its center has been animated. And the second one is creating a little bit of a highlight on the edge here. So let me turn it off and on. So it creates the effect of it being metallic from both sides, not only from here when the first light sweep is coming in, like so. Let's get on top here again. And here it might look a little bit complicated, but it's not. So it's literally animating as I just showed you, and camera moving towards the plane. So the first slider control is animating the transform property by Z rotation. So it wiggle like so. You can see it like it start wiggling. To show you better, it looks like this, but in a very subtle way. Then second effect comes distort chroma, that creates this distortion effect, and it comes from 0 to 0.08. That creates a very subtle effect of dispersion, like this. Then warp chroma also creates sort of a moving effect, a speed, because it looks like its rays pointed towards the camera and it's like moving. It has a very huge speed. It's kind of faking it, but it works. Then I added rays to emphasize this effect. Also deep glow, that also is being animated here. Then turbulent displace to make it waving. And one more deep glow on top, just to finish with super glowish spot. That then disappears. It disappears exactly at the moment when our animation that I just showed you previously start appearing. So it's pretty much seamlessly. But actually there's no magic behind it, it's literally a cut of 2 effects. But then to melt it together even more seamlessly, I made whole scene glowing by adding adjustment layers on top. The first adjustment layer is exposure, just makes everything brighter. The second one is deep glow, that makes everything glow, obviously, and a CC lens to make this distortion effect. So it looks like one movement. So it goes like here and it comes down here. So this is it for the second scene. We are moving to the third scene. Here's just a simple background with a gradient ramp, just colors on top and on bottom. The text is being animated with the opacity and position, like so. Same for the second text. And the third one is animated by scale. It has an effect called Gradient Multi from Sapphire, and those XY points have been animated like so. To make gradient moving, let me show you like this. And then Deep Glow comes in, and it looks like the glow is moving. And on the background, it's just one more solid is being introduced by the opacity from 0 to 100, and it's just a one color. This is it. So the third scene is pretty simple. Let's move to the fourth one. So here's pretty much the same as the second one in terms of the camera. So it has effect plane, background plane, and one more background plane there. So camera is slowly moving to the right, along with the text is being typed. Then it goes back here. So this is it for the camera movement. For the text typing, I already showed you before how it has been done. For this background, to make this such circles, I created shapes with a deep glow and exposure here is being animated towards the end. Same for the second shape, like this, the third and fourth. And all of them getting darker throughout the scene towards the end, like so. So this is again an empty plane with the text is being typed, and then it's connected to the null to make it rotate along the y-axis. And then this raise effect at the end has been done with the S-raise effect animated, with a raise length and raise brightness. Like so. And at the end, the whole scene is getting shaked by the adjustment layer that has transform effect and slider control. The slider control is controlling the wiggle effect of the position of this transform effect, so I can gradually introduce the shake throughout the scene. Here is the max on top, and then it goes down here to 0. So it's kind of shake transition. And the final scene has been done in Blender that I'm gonna show you in a second. But for now, I will just show you how I made the text animation. So the one layer of the text is animated with glow and opacity. But at the end, I wanted it to be purely white. So I duplicated this layer and make it purely white. And it was introduced by opacity property like so. For this text is just simple opacity. As a final touches to the whole project, I like to add a quick chromatic aberration with a mask on the edges, so it works only here. Show you without it and with, without and with. It's better visible on brighter footages, like here. Then I added edge blur, so it's blur on the edges, the same way as chromatic aberration. Then CC lens to fake real lens distortion. And noise, because I like film look type of animations, so I just added simple noise, standard noise from the After Effects. So this is it for the animation in After Effects. Let me show you animation in Blender. So in Blender, I imported my logo, selecting all the parts and converting them to the mesh, joining all parts, pressing tab, selecting all vertices, extruding them along Z-axis, and I have 3D icon of my logo. I apply the same logic to the whole plane of my plugin, to the text, to the plane, to the glowing part, to the icon, of course, and this is what I have here. Also, I added a keyboard buttons that has been taken from the full-size keyboard And from the camera view, we have something like this. I attached my plane to the empty that has been animated by spinning around its z-axis. And then I also connected it to the other empty that is making this random movement. It gives a bit more life to the animation. And the same noise movement has been applied to keyboard buttons. You can pay attention to this, for example. Like so. And as a whole animation, we have something like this. And in the render view, it looks like this. So I rendered this out, put into After Effects, and just made a transition on the movement. So the logo spins at the end of the 4th scene, and it spins at the start of the 5th scene, so it looks very clean. So thank you for watching this video. All links is gonna be in the description of this video. Subscribe to my channel, Discord channel, and goodbye.